Good morning to all. I am CH.SRILAKSHMI, working as ad hoc lecturer in CSE department in JNT College of Engineering. Now I am going to explain Information Technology Act 2000. Before going into the topic, what is an act and what is an law? Act is nothing but, technically it is called as a bill. If this bill is passed or voted in both the houses, then it becomes an act, and later on it becomes a law. So this Information Technology Act came into existence in 2000, in the year 2000, on 17th October. This Information Technology Act can also be called as IT Act. IT Act 2000 is based on UNIPRITL. UNPRITL means, which stands for United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. This IT Act has 13 chapters, 94 sections and 4 schedules. Now coming into the objective of IT Act. Why we need an objective? IT Act means IT Act provides us legal recognition for e-commerce. What is an e-commerce? E-commerce refers to doing business and transactions over the internet. So while doing the business on the internet, the two parties may not be need to know each other and they did not see each other, but still they do the business. Now coming to the chapters and sections present in this IT Act 2000. This Act consists of 13 chapters, 94 sections and 4 schedules. Once again I am repeating, 13 chapters, 94 sections and 4 schedules. Coming into the chapters. These chapters in this Act, it consists of 13 chapters. First chapter is regarding to preliminary, and it also consists of definitions of cyber laws. And this chapter covers section 1 and section 2. Now coming into chapter 2. It is regarding to digital signature. Later on we can see what is a digital signature, and this chapter covers section 3 and section 3A. Now coming into third chapter, it deals with electronic governance, and this chapter covers section 4 to section 10. Now coming into chapter 4, and this chapter covers attribution, acknowledgement and dispatch of electronic records. This chapter covers section 11 to section 13. Chapter 5 deals with secure electronic records and secure digital signatures. This chapter covers section 14 to section 16. Chapter 6 deals with regulations of certifying authorities. Certifying authorities means who is going to certify the digital signatures and all. This chapter covers section 17 to section 34. And coming to chapter 7, and this chapter deals with digital signature certificates, and this chapter deals with section 35 to section 39. Chapter 8 is regarding to duties of subscribers. This chapter covers section 40 to 42. Chapter 9, penalties, compensations and adjudication. This chapter covers from section 43 to section 47. Chapter 10 deals with the cyber regulation appellate tribunals. This chapter covers from section 48 to 64. And chapter 11, it deals with offense. This chapter covers from section 65 to 78. In chapter 12, network service providers not to be liable in certain cases. This chapter covers only section 7 to 9. Chapter 12a. This chapter deals with amendments to other acts. This chapter only covers section 79a. Chapter 13. It covers miscellaneous acts, and this chapter covers from section 80 to 94. And this act is not applicable to Negotiable Instrument Act, and it is not applicable to Power of Attorney Act, Trust, Will, Seals, Immovable Property, and other transactions that may not be notified. Coming to sections. So before itself we saw only the chapters, and now here the sections. The sections is of 94 sections. You can see here. So first section is of definitions and all. Next, third one is authentication of electronic records, legal recognition of electronic records, legal recognition of digital records, uses of electronic records and digital signatures in government and its agencies, recognition of electronic records, publication of rules, regulations in electronic gadgets. Section 6, 7 and 8. Not to confer right to inconsistent documents should be accepted in electronic form. Power to make rules by central government in respect of digital signature. Attributes of electronic records, acknowledgement of receipts, time and place, dispatch and receipt of electronic records. Section 14. Secure electronic records. Section 15. Secure digital signature. Security procedures. Appointment of controller and other officers. Functions of controller. Recognition of foreign certifying authorities. Controller to act as a repository. License to issue digital signature certificates. Application for the license. Renewal of license. Procedure for grants or rejection of license. Suspensions of license. Notice of suspension or revocation of license. Power of delegate. Power to investigate contraventions. Access to computer and date. Certifying authority to follow certain procedures. Certifying authorities to ensure compliance of acts. Display of license. Surrender of license. Disclosure. Certifying authority to issue digital signature certificate. Representation upon issuance of digital signature certificate. Suspension of digital signature certificate. Revocation of digital signature certificate. Notice of suspension of revocation. Generating key pair. Acceptance of digital signature certificate. Control of private key. Penalty for damage to computer system, etc. Penalty for failure to furnish information written, etc. Residuary penalty, power to adjudication, factors to taken into account by adjudication officer, establishment of cyber appellant tribunal, composition of cyber appellant tribunal, qualification for appointment as a presiding officer of the cyber appellant tribunal, term of office, salary, allowances and other terms and conditions of services of presiding officer, filling up vacancies, resignation and removal, orders constituting appellate tribunal to be final and not to invalidate its proceedings, staff to cyber appellate tribunal, appeal to cyber regulations to appellate tribunal, procedures and powers of cyber tribunal, right to legal representation, limitations, civil courts not to have jurisdiction, appeal to high court, compounding of contraventions, recovery of penalty, tampering with computer source documents, hacking with computer systems, publishing of information which is offense in electronic form, power of the controller to give directions, directions to control to subscriber to extend facilities to decrypt information, protected systems, penalty for misrepresentation, breach of confidence and privacy, penalty for publishing digital signature, certifying false in certain particulars, publication for fraudulent purpose, act to apply for offence or contravention committed outside India, conviction, penalties and conviction not to interfere with the other punishments, power to investigate offence, network services providers not to be liable in certain cases, power of police officers and other officers to enter such etc. Act to have overriding effects, controller, deputy controller and assistant controller to be public servants, power to give directions, power of action taken in good faith, offence by companies, removal of difficulties, power of central government to make rules, constitute of advisory committee, power of controller to make regulations, power of state government to make rules, amendment of Act 45 of 1860, amendment of Act 1 of 1872, amendment of Act 18 of 1891, amendment Act of 2 of 1934. All these comes under the section which is covered under the chapters. Now coming to schedules. We are having 4 schedules. First schedule is regarding to amendments of Indian Penal Code IPC. So it is regarding to change of words, document to document and electronic records. Now coming to second schedule, amendment of Indian Evidence Act. Admissibility of electronic evidence, most relevant to current discussions. The third schedule is regarding to amendment of the Banker's Book Evidence Act. It defines the definition of Banker's Book, expanding to include electronic records. Now coming to fourth schedule, amendment of RBI Act. It is regarding to regulation of fund transfer through electronic means. These are the amendments. Now coming to digital signature. What is a digital signature? Which is, you can see this one in chapter 2nd. Digital signature is nothing but it is an authentication of an electronic records by a subscriber by means of an electronic method. So we are providing an authentication to an electronic record by means of an electronic method. It's nothing but we are signing in an electronic by means of electronic signature. It consists of again public key and a private key. So how the digital signature works means, if a person want to send a message to a new trader, suppose that is you. So how that person sends means, first he will compute the message into message digest by using hash algorithm, and next step is that message digest will be encrypted with his private key, which yields a digital signature for that message, and that message will be transmitted, and that sender will transmit the message and the digital signature to you. And what you will do means, after receiving the message, you will again compute the message digest by using the same hash function, and you will decrypt the digital signature by using the public key, and later on you will get the message. This is the procedure of the digital signature, and the digital signature will consist of the following parameters: authentication, integrity, and non-replication. Thank you.